have no power in a territory that is not yours. And what I'm saying to you, your full power comes only in your territory.
Wow.
You have a finite amount of time. A lot of people acting like they have an infinite amount of time. It may be infinite, but it ain't infinite on earth. You have a finite amount of time, and you also have a finite amount of energy. And too many people are messing in other people's energy fields and territories where you don't have any power. You only have control of your own. So anytime you are concerned about, worried about, trying to fix, meddling in, trying to take over, trying to control somebody else's energy field, you are out of order. Out of order. And you cannot succeed. You just can't. I hit a nerve, didn't I? No, you can't fix him. You can barely fix yourself. That's why you're here tonight. So, your greatest energy, your greatest power is your ability to love. That's where all the power is. The greatest power is in your willingness to show love, to receive love, and to be it. And control this. Control this. Stay out of other people's fields. And the reason why your greatest power is love is because something I think, actually, Marianne Williamson broke it down for us in her book, Return to Love. She said there are basically only two emotions, right? Ronell? You know. Only two emotions. 3LWs here in the house. Only two emotions. You either walk in the direction of love or you walk in the direction of fear. And I remember the first time I tried to do this in the 90s on the show, all the men in the audience were like, I ain't scared of nothing. I ain't scared of nothing. Well, love is grace and kindness and forgiveness. It's understanding. It's called by many names: cooperation, collaboration, respect, harmony, and reverence for life. And fear, for all the people who say you're not scared of nothing, it's anxiety and depression, and anger, and jealousy. Nobody's jealous when you're scared. It's greed. Everybody who's greedy is scared that there won't be enough. It's pain. It's sadness. It's ultimately feeling that you're not worthy. So the truth is, you can move in the direction of fear, or you can move in the direction of love, and you get the choice. And to have the life you want, you have to choose love. You have to choose love. Now, choosing love is hard. Sometimes. I remember my audio guy for 25 years, JR, one time we were talking, because we all share books and we talk about this, and in Harpo, and our whole business revolves around these ideas. And I was speaking to JR one year, and JR was like, I tried that love thing. Because I made a decision, I was going to be loving to everybody, and then everything else showed up. Well, that's how you give love. You're not giving love just when you're growing daffodils in a field someplace. You can't just choose whispering in the wind in the field of flowers. It's in the most difficult of times when you have to choose love. Most difficult of times. When your child has cut school for the 5th time. When your best friend was supposed to be there for you in a crisis and ended up thinking more about her own life than yours. When somebody let you down and you had to go inside and dig deep to find some love. But that is where the greatest power lies. So, this is what I want you to know for all of us. Every day, you get another chance to choose love. Every day. Every day, you get another chance. And you can move from disaster to all will be well. All will be well. All will be well. No matter what. Because this I've learned. Failure. Somebody got a tissue because I'm sweating up here. I know you got one, Miss Lady Girl. Thank you. Willie has one. Thank you. Because failure is life at its most poignant, pushing us in a new direction. You need to write that down. Failure is life at its most poignant, pushing us in a new direction. I remember when I thought my life was over, literally. 14, I'd been molested. I was raped at 9. I was molested from 10 to 14. I became pregnant. I was running the streets. My mother didn't know what to do with me. She said she was going to put me in a detention home. The detention home was full, so she sent me to live with my father. When I walked in the door to live with my father at 14, I was probably about 5 months pregnant, but I was hiding the pregnancy. My father said to me, the first day I arrived in the house, that he would rather see a daughter of his floating dead down the Cumberland River in Nashville, Tennessee, rather than to bring shame on the family and the Winfrey name. And that it didn't matter what I had done in Milwaukee, there were going to be some new rules in the house in Nashville. And he's saying this to me, and I know that I'm pregnant. So I think the only choice I had, I'm going to have to kill myself rather than have him kill me. Because I did believe that he would kill me. And I didn't want to bring that shame and disgrace upon him. And my worry and my being upset and my challenges of trying to kill myself. I was drinking bleach and trying to run over the cars and going downstairs and doing all kinds of crazy things. Desperate. And caused myself to go into labor. And when I went into labor, my father had to be told about this child that I'd been hiding, or this pregnancy that I'd been hiding. He was really upset, but said, you're going to have to come out of school. School's over for you now. Because at the time you weren't allowed to go to school if you're pregnant. You all remember those days? You're going to have to come out of school now, and you're going to have a different kind of life. And a couple of weeks after that, as I'm sitting at home, trying now, thinking, why didn't I kill myself? The baby boy that I'd given birth to did not survive. He died. When the boy died, the baby boy died, my father said to me, you now get another chance. You get a second chance. And if I were you, I would use it to the highest. You get a chance to start over. Because you're going to have to come out of school. And now you can go back to school. You can make something of your life, and you can turn this thing around. And so that is what I did. Exactly what I did. I made a choice. I went back to school. Nobody knew I had become pregnant. I went back to school. Jesse Jackson came to speak at our school, and he gave a speech, and he said, excellence is the best deterrent to racism. Excellence is the best deterrent to sexism. Therefore, be excellent. I went home, I put that on my mirror. That's another mantra. I'm going to be the master of my fate, the captain of my soul, and I'm going to be excellent at it. So, learning that I had a second chance also gave me a new way to think about things. You get to choose the way you think about things. Because from you, all things flow. You gotta pay attention. Because your life is always speaking to you. Now, the truth is, that disastrous situation, 14 years old, life was whispering to me and had been whispering to me for a long time. But I didn't know what to do with the whispers. I was hard-headed. And that's what life does. The whispers get louder and louder and louder. And what I have learned, my thread, and I'm sure some of you too, things come in whispers. First, the whisper shows up, and the whisper is like a message to you. If you don't pay attention to the message, you end up with a pebble upside your head. That means a problem has shown up. What was a message that you could have fixed has now become a problem. Hello. If you don't pay attention to the pebble, some of you are brick people. Yep. You need a brick. You brick upside your head, and by the time the brick shows up, you no longer have a problem, you're in crisis. You're in a crisis that you could have avoided if you had listened to the message and fixed the problem. But because you didn't, you are now in crisis. And if you don't pay attention to the brick, or some people, you need the entire brick wall. You need a full-blown disaster to pay attention. That's what happened to me by the time I'm pregnant, hiding in pregnancy. So, I know you know what I'm talking about. Life is always speaking to you, especially in our greatest trials. By the time you get to the great trial, that means it's been whispered for a long, long time for you. So the question is, will you listen to the whispers? Will you listen to the whispers? There are some of you here who are willing to share your whispers with us today. I want to know what's whispering to you. Okay? I already got it. But I'll talk to you tomorrow, for real. Is it really loud for anybody, whispering? Really? Screaming. Screaming. Because you haven't paid attention. You're paying attention now. You know what I'm talking about, right? She said, what did you say? Come over here. Okay. Now, say it out loud. Say it out loud. It's too much detail, Lisa. Lisa, I just want to know what the whisper was. 7 years. Okay, you're already in full-blown crisis about it. But you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And let me just say this. A whisper is exactly that. It literally feels like, well, now that's all right. I thought he said he was going to be home. Now that's odd. I thought that door was closed. That's odd. It feels like it's just a little something. It's a little, that's not right. That's not right. I always say, I hate it when things don't make sense. Because when things don't make sense, they don't make no sense.
Right.
So, that's what a whisper feels like. And by the time you're getting thumped on the head, there's a problem. And in most cases, the problem can still be resolved when it's in pebble stage. By the time it gets to be a brick, it gets a lot harder. And full-blown disaster is exactly that. Full-blown disaster. So the question is, Adam, you're shaking your head. You know, we've heard this many times too. All right, so what's whispering to you? My whisper centers around